Opera is an insight into oneself. I come from a family totally immersed in music. My father lived in Vienna and worked for Bruno Walter.
My parents never went to the opera, had never been.
My first experience was magical. My father offered me a ticket at the Paris Opera to see Parsifal, conducted by Ferdinand Leitner and the Stuttgart Opera.
I like classical music. I had been on my own listening to concerts, but opera never.
At that age, it was incredible suddenly to realize how music and opera could express emotions and inner feelings. Parsifal was the conflict between the spirit and the flesh.
It took me 20 years to go and see Parsifal. I'd seen The Ring before, but Parsifal I never wanted to go, because when I met Pavel, I think that he was listening to Parsifal non-stop when he was 18 years old. And so I thought it was terribly boring and I never wanted to go. And then 20 years later in Covent Garden, he persuaded me to go, and I absolutely loved Parsifal from the first time.
At 72, I saw it recently at the Metropolitan Opera. It was the meaning of people who all suffer from regrets, and only Parsifal, maybe like Spinoza, felt that life had to be lived without carrying all these regrets.
And the first time I saw Parsifal, for me it was more about the singers. And there was Thomas Hampson, especially, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. The second time at the Met, it was really for me the music. It was really the orchestra work. It was the music more than the singers the second time. It was a magnificent play.
Apparently Bruno Walter had said about the artist that there were two facets to the artist. One was about understanding the work, and the other about expressing it. And what made great artists is those who profoundly understood what was meant and could express it through their own soul. And I must say I had many evenings at the Met where I had that feeling.
I love to watch the musicians when they play. I like to look at their posture. I like to look the way they hold their instrument. I always count how many women there are. I find it interesting just to see where in the world they might all come from. I just like to elaborate in my mind about them.
So I think opera is something which moves you at all age, to the point I have a friend who is a teacher for blind children. And she told me that she used one of my record of pieces of opera with a child who was 5 years old, would never listen to music. And when the child heard the opera pieces, it kept on crying. It moved him completely.
Ich hab eine Mutter, Herzelein, sie heißt. Im Wald und auf wilder Aue fahren wir heim. Wer gab dir den Bogen, den schuf ich mir selbst, forst die wilden Adler zu verscheuchen.